So I have a little announcement to make. If you didn't already know, I am now part of Wonderly, which is an online community for females to share creativity and things that they make and videos and blogs and all different things like that, and they have recently made a new part of their channel called Friends of Wonderly, and I was kindly asked to join them. Me and a group of 10 other girls are all part of this Friends of Wonderly thing. They were all really lovely ladies, and I'll leave all the links to their channels down below because you should definitely check them out. They make such a variety of videos, like craft videos, vlogs, book videos like me, so this is just such an exciting thing and I'm so happy to be sharing this all with you. So each month Wonderly has a theme, and this month the theme is curate. So today I'm going to be showing you my top 10 favourite books of my life so far. I'm not going to rank the books as in like 1 to 10, but I am going to roughly put them in the order that I read them in, like from my younger years of reading to the present day. So none of these books are ranked higher than each other because they're all my favourite, and I don't think you can really compare them because they're varying in genre and everything about them is quite different. So yeah, let's get on and show you the books. So the first favourite book would have to be The Vile Village by Lemony Snicket, and this is taken from his series of unfortunate events. Now I absolutely love this series. I started reading it when I was probably about 8 or 9. I remember it being the first ever series I really got into, and I followed it all the way along until the last book, and I just think it's awesome. I reread them so many times, and this one would have to be my favourite, and I can't tell you why. I have no idea why, but when I thought through them all and wondered which one would be my favourite, I thought of this one immediately. Maybe it has something to do with crows. I quite like birds, and this book has a lot of crows in it, so maybe that's why. Second on my list of favourites would have to be Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I was gonna say the entire Harry Potter collection, but I thought actually no, I will narrow it down to the one book that I enjoy the most, and it would have to be this one. The reason for this would be the fact that Sirius Black and Remus Lupin are in this book, and I absolutely love those characters. They are my favourite from the entire Harry Potter series. Also the fact that Voldemort doesn't really make an appearance in this book, and all of the other ones he does in some form or another. In this one he's not really that prominent in the storyline, which I enjoy quite a bit. My third favourite book would have to be The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. This book is just brilliant. If you've not read it, I really suggest you do because it has such an interesting perspective. It's told through the eyes of a young boy with Asperger's syndrome, and Mark Haddon does a fantastic job of capturing that persona and like telling the story through the eyes of this boy. It's so incredibly clever, and it's just a fantastic story. It's funny, but you also find that you learn a lot about things, because I never knew anything about Asperger's syndrome before reading this, and you find you learn stuff whilst also enjoying a really fantastic story. Number 4 would have to be The Northern Lights by Philip Pullman. Now this has long-standing been one of my favourite series ever. It is just brilliant. Philip Pullman has a brilliant way of capturing you as the reader and really drawing you into the story. He builds such a brilliant setting in these books, and I just want to live in them. The storyline is so fast-paced and the characters are so brilliantly told that I just can't help but feel a connection with them all, and whenever I reread it I feel like I'm joining them again in their story, and I just love that about a book. Number 5 would have to be The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. Now I know some of you may say, but that's 3 books. My edition is 1 book, so I'm saying this is 1 book. Also, Tolkien meant for it to be 1 book in the first place, so I'm counting it as 1 book because I wouldn't be able to choose between the 3 kind of parts of it. Story pulls you along so beautifully, the description, everything, the characters, that it's so built in and so in-depth. Like the amount of effort that Tolkien went to writing these stories and building this world and language and races and everything to do with this universe is just brilliant. It's literally a piece of art in its own right. Like it's so detailed and brilliant. I can't even express to you how much I love these stories and how much I love the world that Tolkien's made. Number 6 would have to be The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. Now Patrick Ness has a fantastic writing style, and I think that's why I enjoy these books so much, but the writing is just so powerful and it pulls you along so fast paced, and the characters are so brilliantly told that you really have that connection with them. This is a dystopian book, and the world that is created is unlike any other dystopian book that I've read, which is really enjoyable and really unique. Number 7 would have to be Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, and I read this book this year and I fell in love. This is described as adult fantasy fiction type thing, but I would describe it more as YA because that's kind of what came across to me more with YA themes. Although I would say this book was not overrun by a romance, and I love that because in a lot of books nowadays the romance can kind of take over and just become the kind of prominent storyline of the entire book, which everything plays in towards a romance. Whereas this story wasn't like that at all. It was so original in the idea and the way the storyline went, and the 80s pop culture references were just brilliant. I mean, I wasn't born in the 80s, but I got a lot of them, and I thought it was brilliant. Like, there were a lot of mentions of Lord of the Rings in here, so there's no wonder why I loved it so much. Number 8 would have to be Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. This is part of the Hunger Games trilogy, as you all know, the second in the trilogy, and I actually like this one better than the first one. I thought the suspense and build up to everything that happens in the story was just so fantastic, and I just really enjoyed it. I found I enjoyed the characters more in this one than I did in the first one, which was strange, and I cannot wait for the film. I keep watching the trailer over and over and I am so excited. Number 9 would have to be The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. John Green makes you fall in love and breaks your heart with this story. Like, I can't even tell you how much I cried when I read this book and how much of an impact it made upon me. I mean, I only read it this year, but it is awesome, and I know it will be one of those books that will stay on my shelf for the rest of time and I will read over and over again because, wow, everything about it is just gorgeous. And the final book on my list of favourite books would have to be The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. Apologies for butchering the name, I don't know how to say it properly. The writing style and descriptions are just so amazing. Like, you know when you read a book and you read something and you think wow, and you have to kind of sit back and take in what you've just read and the profoundness and the beauty of the writing on the page. So many times it's happened in this book. That's probably why it took me so long, is because I had to keep putting it down and just kind of soaking in like the beauty of the words on the page and how much I was enjoying it. I didn't want it to end because I was enjoying it so much. So that's everything for my list. I hope you liked it. If not, tell me what your thoughts are. Would you cut some books out? Would you put some books in? What would your list comprise of? I'll leave all the links below down to my blog, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything like that. I'll also leave the links to all the Wonderly ladies, and I think you should definitely check them all out because they are so fantastic, and I'm so happy to be part of the Friends of Wonderly with them all. So I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon. Bye! So I went to the bookshop and aimed to buy one book, came out with 6, and since then I have purchased a few more. So let's get on and show you what I bought this month.